I'm Becca, and here's my speech. Did you know an estimated 167,000 breeding dogs are currently living in the United States Department of Agriculture licensed commercial facility buildings for breeding purposes at this very moment? In addition, there are an estimated 10,000 puppy mills in the United States. This includes both licensed and unlicensed facilities, and over 2 million puppies are bred in puppy mills each year. This information was taken from the Puppy Mill Project website. So today I want to introduce you to the inhumane nature of puppy mills and encourage you not to shop at pet stores or buy animals offline, but rather adopt from rescues and animal shelters. This issue is extremely important because for many people, pets are a member of the family, and it's crucial to look out for these animals' rights and well-being because they can't speak up for themselves. The aspect of education is also very important because many people aren't even aware that puppy mills exist. They just see the cute puppy in the window at the mall and think they must have it. As for my credibility on speaking on this subject, I have volunteered at the National Mill Dog Rescue that is located here in Peyton, Colorado. This shelter rescues hundreds of dogs from puppy mills each year. I will give some more information on this rescue later on in my speech. To further my credibility on this issue, my family has personally adopted animals from the National Mill Dog Rescue and have witnessed the animals struggle after being in such a cool facility such as the puppy mill. For my speech today, I would like to convince you all to adopt animals from shelters and rescues rather than buying them from the pet stores and online. I will do this by explaining the inhumane practices of puppy mills and what they are all about. The problem here is not one that readily affects many Americans on a day-to-day basis. However, it's still an important issue because animals are being tortured here in America and it's legal. The legislation regarding puppy mills is very lax and allows for the terrible conditions to exist that are harmful to the animals. In 1966, the Animal Welfare Act was passed, and it required breeders who had more than 3 breeding female dogs and sell puppies to pet stores or puppy brokers to be licensed and inspected by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. This information is from the ASPCA website. And with this Welfare Act came very minimal standards as far as living conditions and the quality of health as they were concerned. In a typical puppy mill, there are hundreds of dogs in tiny cages just living out their life. The dogs don't get to leave the cages and run outside and be free range. They are confined to live in a cage their whole life. They're there solely just to breed and make profit for the mill and with every litter that they deliver. Once a dog has done all the breeding that it can, the puppy mills throw the dogs out. They are treated as a commercial item and solely as a source of profit, and their health and well-being is the least of the concerns for puppy mill owners. For example, with the work of the National Mill Dog Rescue, they are able to go and rescue the breeding dogs and puppies that the mills don't want anymore. My grandmother's friend donates a lot of her time to the Mill Dog Rescue and is in charge of going through online applications. She has told me stories of their interaction with the puppy mills. She said the mill calls them and will tell them that they have 3 days to get there and get the puppies, otherwise they are going to throw them out or kill them. Puppy mills are ran as a business and strictly for profit. It doesn't matter to them what happens to the animals or how they are taken care of. With the chaos surrounding this issue and the care of the animals, there has to be a solution soon. The solution to this problem is no easy fix, and puppy mills will probably always be around. However, there are things like legislation and consumer knowledge that can help lessen the problem and save millions of animals. Legislation is the biggest obstacle for a solution because it is extremely hard to achieve. Smaller issues in legislation, such as animals' rights and well-being, take an entire community and a city to rally together in order to really make a difference. It's not popular or televised like many other political or legislative issues. More than half the United States have chosen to legislate higher standards of care on commercially bred animals beyond the bare minimum required by the AWA. Unfortunately, 21 states have no laws on the books regulating commercial dog breeders, and a number of states that do require breeders to be licensed and inspected by the state only require commercial breeders to meet USDA standards of care. This fact was also taken from the ASPCA website. In shelters and rescues across the United States, it's important for them to keep their communities educated and aware of the population issues with pets, specifically cats and dogs. Puppy mills only increase population issues and contribute to the high volume of animals that end up in shelters. This is why awareness and education is such an important factor surrounding this issue and cause. All in all, a solution requires spreading the word. Now I want you to picture the world without puppy mills. Without puppy mills, the extreme overpopulation would greatly depreciate. With the decline in the population, less animals would end up in the shelter because there would be less on the streets. Perhaps the biggest benefit of all is knowing that thousands of dogs are not being tortured and forced to spend their entire lives breeding. Without puppy mills, there is the opportunity for all the animals sitting in rescues and shelters to be adopted and taken home. It would force pet stores to reconsider their business and look at having local homeless animals in their stores instead of puppy-bred milled dogs. Today I invited you to look into the inhumane practices of puppy mills, and I encouraged you to adopt animals from rescues and shelters because buying them from pet stores is just funding more puppy mills. So next time you are looking for a family pet, I want you to adopt an animal from a rescue and a shelter and to stay out of the pet store. You have the potential to give a homeless animal a new lease on life, and the internal happiness from that is more fulfilling than supporting a puppy mill and buying a dog from the pet store. Lastly, I just wanted to take a second and give some more information on the National Mill Dog Rescue. This rescue goes to puppy mills and rescues them and brings them back to their facility to improve their overall health and their life. Many of these animals have no socialization skills, and this rescue has a dedicated staff of volunteers who take the time to work with these animals and get them prepared to live in a home environment with the family. So next time you have some free time, drive out to Peyton and look around the facility. They could always use some help, so ask about volunteering. Thank you.